Welcome to Vocab Wednesday. I'm Chris with Magoosh, and once eponymous a time, we had all these fun words starting with eponymous. What does this word mean? Well, it comes from the noun eponym. An eponym is a word that is derived from a person's name, which is very interesting. So, if you have, for instance, a city like Alexandria in Egypt is derived from Alexander the Great. So likewise, we have words in the GRE that actually come from a person's name. That makes them eponyms. The adjective forms of eponym is eponymous. So, I have some eponymous words for you, starting with Luddite. Now, not necessarily a vocab word that would be the answer maybe to a text completion or something like that, but could easily show up in a reading passage. So what's a Luddite? Well, first we got to talk about Ned Ludd. He was a little bit crazy in the head. He was this British lad sometime in the early 19th century who apparently went about the neighborhood like breaking things in his house. Like I said, he was a little around the bend, and so he'd like take his parents' things and break them, and the people say, oh, there goes Ned Ludd again, breaking things. And so that stuck around in the neighborhoods. Like if you're into just throwing stuff and breaking things, you were like Ned Ludd. Well, what happened was, it was the Industrial Revolution at this time, and there were some workers who were just really upset that their skills of sewing or building were being replaced by machines. They were becoming obsolete, these workers. And so they went one day into the factory and they took all the equipment and bashed it and threw it on the ground. And so people saw them and they're like, whoa, those people are like Ned Ludd, they're breaking things. So this group of people were called Luddites. Now just what in tarnation could that possibly mean? Interestingly, a Luddite is a person who is very and vehemently opposed to technological change and progress. So if you have a friend who says, I don't write or use email, I only write letters, I hate the computer, it's destroying us all, that person is a Luddite. They are not embracing technological change, and metaphorically, they're picking up the computer and throwing it on the ground. So there you have our first one. Next one, we're going to go way back in time. I'm talking 7th century BC, Athens. My name is Draco, and it's time that we have a law. No more of this blood feud. Do you understand me, my fellow Athenians? Here is the law now. Oh, they nodded their head. I like this. There's a little bit of, justice, if you will, here. A system. Things seem logical. Well, Draco took it way too far in terms of punishment. So, for instance, if you went into the marketplace in Greece and you stole a cabbage, a purple cabbage, and you were caught, the punishment was death. Crazy. And so what does this word draconian, what could it possibly mean? Well, it could describe any punishment that is far too severe, way too strict. How could they possibly do that? Just because the person, went out late at night, didn't obey their curfew, he's been thrown in jail. That is draconian. That's the word, that's the meaning. And finally, we have a weird looking word, Bowdlerize. It doesn't look like it's an English word, but it was named after a clergyman named Thomas Bowdler, who had this really quixotic notion of taking the complete works of Shakespeare and censoring them, because we all know how racy and toilety Shakespeare can be. Well, apparently Shakespeare did have kind of this penchant for using scatological or potty references, and so Bowdler was aghast and said, there's no way these women and children can be reading this. So he went through and censored again the works of Shakespeare. So to Bowdlerize something is to remove objectionable material, usually in a way that's overly morally principled. And this is also related to a very good GRE word, which is expurgate, E-X-P-U-R-G-A-T-E. That's 2 for the price of 1, and I will see you next week.